once again, and you're welcome back to my YouTube channel. If it's your first time dropping by, please just kindly hit the subscribe button and also tap on the notification bell so whenever I post any new video, you will be the first to be informed. And to my old subscribers, thank you all so much for always being there. The topic for today is a very sensitive topic. I'm going to talk about postgraduate depression, life after university. This topic is really serious and pertinent. Under normal circumstances, parents are there for you throughout, from nursery school, through primary school, through secondary school, and maybe through university. Now when you get into university and finally you get your degree and you have to now start facing life, that's where the battle begins. At this stage, when you just leave school, the thought alone of going back home, it just sickens you because you have been independent for years and you're already used to that independent life. Now going back home and starting over again is always so difficult. At that time in your life, you feel like you are becoming a burden. Like collecting money from your parents at that time, it feels awkward. We all know how the Cameroonian society is, the African society is. When you get to a certain age, or when you have acquired a certain status, maybe you already have a degree, people back home start expecting things from you. Like they start asking, where does she work, where does he work, is she married, is he married, does she now have a job, is she now being paid, and so on and so forth. Graduates face a lot of battles within them, especially those who don't have things figured out for them, because there are actually some people who already have everything figured out for them. They just have to study, get that degree or that certificate, and then just go to the position that has been kept for them. But now not everybody is that privileged, so it's usually such a trying time in the life of any young man or any young woman, because that is the moment, that is the period when you're trying to discover yourself, you're trying to discover your purpose, you're trying to discover who you really are, and you're trying to make a future and set a legacy for yourself and your future family. Postgraduate pressure and depression is 100% real. It becomes worse if you don't have a supportive family, and also if maybe your classmates or peers seem to be progressing and going forward and you feel like life is just not moving for you. The first step you can take towards fighting postgraduate depression is you have to be ready for the circumstances that are ahead. Before graduation, you have to prepare your mindset. You have to know you are going now into the battlefield, you are going into the real world, and you have to wake up if at all you are in a slumber. The first thing you should do after graduation is build a very competent CV. Build a very good CV and start job hunting. Start applying for jobs, both online and physically. Apply for jobs. Yes, we all know how fast rising the employment rate is getting, but that shouldn't be a hindrance to you, because even inside those millions of graduates who graduate every year, there will be some lucky people or some blessed people who will get those jobs. So why do you have to limit yourself? What if you are destined to be one of those people and now you just fold your arms in your father's house and stay alive? I need to apply me anything, work the for the Cameroon. They will take me, say, who know me for the company? I don't give me any person. No. Try your luck. You don't know. There are people out there who have just had good jobs just like that because of the grace of God upon them. In the line of job applications, try to write concours. Any concours that has been launched that you know that you fit in that position or you can make it there, try it. Don't hear all the stories. Try out your luck. There are people out there who have had these jobs or who have passed these exams without giving a franc. Things have worked out for them. So you don't have to limit yourself. You just have to believe God and try it. And while seeking for jobs, you have to take note of certain things. First of all, your CV has to really be powerful, as in let the language speak for itself. Like let your presentation, let it speak for itself. Include almost every little detail of maybe your academic performances or academic credit or even professional things that you may have done. You don't know, it may help you somehow. Include all those things in your CV. Be very patient and steadfast in the job hunting process. Make up your mind that you can start from the bottom. Rome wasn't built in a day. Not everyone has that luck to just have a very good, white-collar, highly paid job from the beginning. Some people have to start from the bottom and start rising. So whatever you are offered at that time, consider it like a transition, like a stepping stone to your destination. Don't just sit in one place and say, no, I'm an accountant, I studied accounting, I studied law, I want to have a big job, I studied maybe Maybe I'm an engineer, I have to have a big position. My dear sister, when will you ever have that experience that is needed if you don't start from somewhere? The next tip in job hunting is be very, very flexible and open to learn. But the society of today, there are actually a lot of innovations. So you have to be really, really sharp and fast in learning. Step out of your comfort zone. The next tip is don't use your phones only for pleasure. Make use of your internet. Visit websites of companies. There are so many opportunities in the internet that people just stay and let them pass by. So you have to be very, very flexible with the internet. You have to make use of the internet. Drop your applications online. Drop your applications when you see any opening in any platform. The next tip, which is very, very important, is in the process of you searching for jobs, even if you are not granted a job, do a voluntary service somewhere. Trust me, it's going to help you, because nowadays most companies or most establishments, they like to employ, or they will most likely employ someone who already has working experience. The truth is that whatever knowledge you acquire from school is never enough for you to work. It does not suffice working. Whatever you have learned from school is just part of what you need to know. The real thing is in the field. Doing the theoretical work, you can know everything theoretically, but that's not the real deal. The real deal is in the field. Go into the field and practice. Practice, that's where you get your experience. Not just quoting and citing books here and there. You have to do the practical work. And now, if you are applying for jobs and they're not giving you those jobs, how are you ever going to get that experience that is needed? But if you go to a company and say, okay, I want to do internship here, or I want to do voluntary service, they will hardly refuse you. And trust me, there are many success stories. There are many people who went for voluntary services and performed so well that after about 3 months, 4 months, they were employed. You have to be ready to serve even for free to gain that experience. While applying for jobs, you have to try to get self-employed. You can't just fold your arms and stay in your mother's house. There are a whole lot of opportunities out there. It may not be big opportunities per se, but there are opportunities. Try to do something. Try to be productive. Try to do business, engage in something, learn a craft, learn something. That's why I always advise people that aside from your education, it's always good to have a craft. Maybe something that if the worst comes to the worst, you can actually use it to help yourself while you're looking for those jobs. Another tip for fighting postgraduate depression is after graduation or after university or after having your certificates, rather than just staying at home and being bored and depressed, maybe we should just continue studying. Learning never ends. Either you go back to school and maybe continue with a master's or with a doctorate degree, or maybe you embark on a professional something, or maybe a vocational something that can help you. The next thing I would like to talk about is don't put pressure on yourself. Don't measure your growth based on how your classmates are moving or how your peers are moving, because it's just going to do more harm than good. In this world, everything has a time. It was their own time to have a job. Maybe it's just not your time yet. Maybe God is preparing something really big for you. Maybe your package is too big that God has to take his time to arrange or to put together. So do not put pressure on yourself. No two fingers are equal. No two people are equal. There's a saying that it's not how fast you go, but how far you go. Surround yourself with people who encourage you, who try to push you to the top, who try to plant in that hope in you that there's a better life ahead. The next point is you should be prepared to try other options. Think out of the box. Step out of your comfort zone. Maybe travel if you have the means. Maybe go somewhere new. Do something new or start something new. Your future and success may just lie there. The next point concerns women especially. There are some people or a group of people who feel that with women is easier. Like, if you want to complain now, after graduation, things have been difficult for me, and they'll be like, baby, woman, no, maybe you go find Master Samaritan. You go find Master Samaritan. Some man who can't see you, just take you. Some man will just sponsor you. So, that's totally cliche and misleading. Yes, some women are actually lucky that their breakthrough actually came through maybe marriage or through a man. But you shouldn't limit yourself that way. You shouldn't just stay at home like Cinderella waiting for her Prince Charming. What if Prince Charming never comes? So you're going to end up like that in your parents' house waiting for a man. So as a woman, you should have that determination and hustling spirit. If maybe a benefactor comes or a man that wants to actually sponsor you, fine, that's your luck. But that shouldn't be your sole purpose, because it may come and it may not come. And if it does not come, you have to move on with life. So you have to work hard as well. You have to be your own person. You have to discover your own self. You have to be a woman of your own. It's not easy depending solely on a man. No matter how rich he is, there will always be that void. Nowadays, women are working so hard to empower themselves. Even women in the villages, women who didn't even acquire education, are doing everything possible to support themselves and also support their husbands. No matter how little, but just the fact that you have something you can call your own, it's a very, very, very important thing in a woman's life. There are a lot of petty businesses out there, a lot of things that you could learn, a lot of handcrafts, a lot of vocational things that you could learn that can help you as a woman. So with that said, we'll finally come to the end of this video. I hope you learned a thing or two. Thank you all so much for watching, and see you all in my next video.